down in Southern California this spring. Some colleagues and I were running a training out there, and driving down a road one day, we came across what looked like a squashed snake, with guts coming out of it. And actually, it was one of the coolest things that I've ever had the chance to see, and I'll probably never see again. So I thought I would share it with you. This is a California Kingsnake that had killed a rattler. It was actually still, the rattler was still in its death throes when we first arrived. But it killed it, and then as you can see here, it began to drag that snake to cover. But this was astounding on so many levels. For one, just to see this king snake actually take on this massive rattler, who you could see is probably damn near twice as thick as the king snake, and actually kill it and then begin to remove this rattler to safety, which was kind of cool. The other thing is I've never gotten to see a snake anchored by a kind of frontal heavy object and watch this snake's incredible body move independently of the head and very methodically to gain leverage and pull to yoink this heavy rattler's body down into the bushes. And as you watch this, you'll just get to see this snake kind of pulling and maneuvering and then pausing to get a better purchase by swallowing a little bit more of the head. And just going back to that first shot, it had wrapped this whole snake up, and it was, if you look at it again, you can see that the king snake's mouth was actually locked around the rattler's mouth. And that kind of pink gooey stuff you're seeing is the inside of the rattler's mouth. But it was just mesmerizing to watch the king snake's body move in such a way that it almost cast its body like a fishing line out behind it to find purchase and leverage. And it was pretty cool. I couldn't exactly see what was happening there in the brush at the side of the road, but I think that it may, I'm not sure if it was just anchoring and weighing itself down to be able to pull that rattler forward, or if it was actually wrapping around brush for a better pull. But this whole thing, we probably watched it for 15 or 20 minutes, maybe half hour. Time was flying, and just so cool to see. And it's difficult to really tell what's happening, but there's been bits more of this rattler being swallowed as the snake has been moving, and so you're missing slight chunks of the experience as in the cuts of my video here, but just wild to see. And we were kind of astonished that rattler could actually fit in its entirety inside the body of the king snake, and it must have just ballooned it out incredibly. And it's just been fun for me to think about how long it took to digest this giant animal. And we sat and watched for a while. This was, of course, right before it had pulled it all the way back in, or at least the king snake's own body back into the protected brush, which was just kind of cool to think about, because this snake knew definitively that laying in the road with half a snake in its, or it was firmly attached to this rattler, it was very vulnerable to all the red tails and everybody else hanging around. And as time went on there, before we left, you can see that probably at least a third, if not a half of that rattler was now part of the king snake. And we left the scene to see. So here's just a kind of a fun thing. I sped it up so we could all see some of the motions here in fast play and watch this scene unfold. So very, very cool. And something I hope you all get the opportunity to see in real life sometime. It was certainly a treat. Thanks for watching.